All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the November 10th, 2025 NSA Ad Hoc Committee meeting. We're going to go ahead and get started. Tonight it's going to be myself, Director Lawson, and the chair of the commission, Ricardo Garcia Acosta. And I'm going to start off by sharing my screen. We're going to go over the timeline, also known as the plan of action and milestones. Let me go ahead and bring that up. Just one moment, please. And apologies that the video on my computer is not working tonight. Our chief of staff isn't able to join us, so she handed the controls over to me, so I'm not able to log on and off to try to fix the video. So we'll just have to go with it as is. Find the correct timeline. Okay, I think I got it here. Let me share the screen. All right. Scroll down to November 10th. Apologies, my computer is slow. Okay, here we are, November 10th. We have our ad hoc committee meeting tonight. And on Thursday, the 13th, we're going to discuss the CMC statement that we're going to go over tonight. It's already been posted to our agenda. And then we're going to discuss voting on letting the ad hoc finalize the CMC statement. Since it's not necessarily finalized yet, we want to get input from the rest of the commissioners and the public on Thursday and potentially thereafter. And our next meeting, since we don't have a second meeting in November, we only have one meeting in December, which is on December 11th, which is after the case management conference. That's why we're trying to move forward with a close to final version on Thursday night, this Thursday. And then from there, we're going to meet again next Monday. We're going to review any input that we received from Thursday. And anything else we want to add. We're also going to discuss talking points for the upcoming case management conference, which is rapidly approaching and will be on December 9th, as you can see here. Let me blow up my screen a little bit, easier to read. So we're getting close to the case management conference. As you can see now, we can see it all in one frame. November 10th, December 9th. So we're about a month away from the actual event. Now I will bring up the CMC draft statement. There we go. Make this a little bigger. Oops. There we go. One moment, please. I'm going to invest in a new laptop for the holidays. Okay, there we go. Let me make a little bigger. Okay, I think that's big enough. Can you guys read that? Director Lawson, Chair? Okay. All right, now last week we went through this line for line. I don't know if that's completely necessary tonight. I can see like a couple little typos, which is really minor stuff. But substance-wise, was there anything here that anyone had any questions about? Um, I know Director Lawson, last time we talked at this meeting, I think it was at the last one, you had provided some input that hadn't been put in there yet. Um, when you had a chance to look over this, did you see it in here or
I haven't had a
uh,
chance to look over this version.
you
I've
haven't
been
had a
out
chance?
since last Wednesday. I just got back in.
Okay, that's right.
So
Okay, you did.
I'll look at it quickly tonight, and if I have any comments, I'll get back to you this evening.
Okay, yeah. Apologies, you did say that. I know you're out of town.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So this is the beginning of the statement. Um, I don't know if I want to read through this line for line, but this introduction, I guess might as well read it line for line, and I'll just start from the top. All right. Introduction. At its last case management conference, this court emphasized that compliance with the terms of the NSA will necessitate a change in the culture of the Oakland Police Department. According to the court, this culture change uh, will require strong leadership at all levels. Executive leadership has to drive culture. The culture cannot drive the leadership. The court's words are more important now than ever. With the recent departure of Chief Floyd Mitchell from the department and the Oakland Police Commission preparing the search for his replacement, Oakland must find the kind of chief willing to take ownership of the task of repairing a decades-long culture that, when faced with officer misconduct, wrongly labels corrective disciplinary action as weaponization and punishment. Oakland voters overwhelmingly approved Measure LL, which established the Oakland Police Commission to serve as an engine of reform within the department. Composed of a governing body of commissioners, the CPRA, and the OIG, the commission was created not only to ensure effective external review of the OPD's disciplinary process, but to step in and function as the primary oversight vehicle once a department reaches compliance with and exits from the NSA. The commission is therefore committed to an enduring change in culture within the department that will result in long-term compliance beyond the lifetime of the NSA. Three factors are critical to accomplishing this goal. One, the Commission's continued effective and productive relationships with key city and community stakeholders, including OPD and an independent OIG. Two, final transfer of the department's IAB investigative functions to CPRA. Three, the city's commitment to secure and defend the kind of independent civilian oversight that will cement constitutional policing within the core of the department. Section 2, constructive independent oversight in action. In recent months, the Commission's role in overseeing the department's policies and procedures has been spotlighted in Oakland. Amidst community criticism of certain OPD proposals and the Commission Department relationship, the Commission has worked diligently with the Department to review, revise, and to prepare to implement a number of OPD policies. At a recent Commission meeting, the Department's liaison to the Commission described how both bodies have worked hand in hand in the last year to collaborate, even in the face of disagreements, and refine policies to resolve challenges. The Commission consulted with the Department on a proposal to revise OPD Special Order 9214. According to OPD, the policy as it stood resulted in an administrative burden for captains and sergeants. Via efforts mostly invisible to the public, this consultation resulted in an OPD request for policy modification that received unanimous Commission approval. The newly revised policy has been said to have helped tremendously in reducing officer requests for extensions and in eliminating duplicative reporting, which in turn put more officers on the street while lowering the need for overtime. This policy revision exemplifies how the Commission collaborates with the Department to alleviate unnecessary restrictions while ameliorating effective policing. Despite public concerns that OPD policing practices targeted residents of certain races, until recently, department policy addressing racial profiling was severely outdated, having sat untouched for well a decade. I think that's supposed to say well over a decade. The Commission's independent OIG is responsible for programs and performance based audits, evaluations, and inspections as part of its charter authority. The OIG reviewed Department General Order M19 to identify gaps in the primary document for outlining the department's commitment to fair, equitable, and unbiased service. Upon examination, the OIG offered 6 substantive recommendations for improvement. The Commission's Racial Profiling Ad Hoc accepted the IG's report, then crafted a policy update for the department's manual of rules and a cultural accountability statement that acknowledged OPD's documented link between profiling and harassment of people of color in modern policing. Endorsed by the full commission, the policy updates were recently approved by the chief. The revised policy demonstrates how the independent OIG, the commission governing body, and OPD can coordinate to align department policy with national standards for constitutional policing, improve consistency of policy implementation, and increase accountability for officer actions, all of which will advance OPD's compliance with the NSA. Finally, as the court is aware, soon after Chief Mitchell assumed his post, the City Council referred the OPD's General Order J4 policy on vehicle pursuits to the Commission for review and recommendation. After the Commission ad hoc recommended no changes to the policy, Chief Mitchell, elected officials, and the Oakland community became more involved in the process until the Chief himself proposed specific modifications to the pursuit policy. After discussion with the chief and the receipt of significant community input, the commission reached agreement with the department and voted to approve the chief's modifications to the pursuit policy. Despite efforts to describe the department and the commission as foes, a unanimous vote demonstrated that the commission can cooperate with the department to reach a resolution on pivotal matters. In establishing relationships with key stakeholders, the Commission's efforts reach beyond collaborations with the Chief. Commission leadership has attended officer lineups to advise that the Commission supports the Department, ensure officers that Department command staff conveys officer concerns to the Commission, and to dispel misconceptions that instill mistrust in OPD officers. Fostering connections with officers enables officers to see that Commission oversight is not anti-law enforcement and to embrace the practices associated with cultural change. The Commission has engaged in improved coordination with city leadership, such as attending twice-monthly core NSA group meetings. These recurring meetings permit the members to discuss and coordinate around outstanding NSA tasks, strengthening communication about the department in general and the status of NSA tasks. Commission leadership participation in independent monitor team site visits similarly provide insight into the specific areas in which the department can fine-tune its work to comply with the remaining NSA tasks. All of these efforts on the part of the Commission advance the department toward the goals of cultural change, NSA termination, and sustained compliance post-federal oversight. Section 3. The work of CPRA, the investigative agency that polices the police. The CPRA investigates citizens' allegations of misconduct against sworn OPD officers. As an impartial body outside OPD, CPRA's determinations are independent of department influence. CPRA is Oakland's go-to agency to guard against the unmistakable conflict associated with having the department police itself. Along with the further transfer of OPD's Internal Affairs Bureau duties, CPRA continues to tackle other issues to enhance CPRA's ability to hold accountable any officer or department leader that engages in or conceals misconduct. Adopted in 2018, Oakland's City Ordinance number 13498 requires the Commission, in coordination with CPRA and the Chief of Police, to establish a mediation program. After overcoming numerous obstacles and delays, on September 25th of this year, CPRA presented a mediation plan to the Commission, which unanimously approved the mediation policies and procedures. The mediation program will offer community members and police officers the option to mediate complaints for which officer discipline is not a proposed outcome. Founded on restorative justice principles and administered by CPRA, the program's goal is to further improve communication and cooperation by providing citizens the opportunity to meet with OPD officers and discuss individual complaints in an open, non-confrontational environment. In addition, CPRA remains focused on collaborating with OPD on the transfer of OPD's IAB duties to CPRA. In April 2025, an independent consultant completed its report on the transition. Transferring certain IAB investigative duties to CPRA will reduce costs to the city while enhancing the independence of the investigative and disciplinary processes. CPRA's additional objectives include improving the efficiency and effectiveness of the OPD discipline process, developing strategies for compliance with NSA Task 2, resolving inconsistencies in discipline within the department, which has to do with NSA Task 45, and increase quality of investigations. Each of these goals is crucial to instilling long-term confidence in the city's ability to manage the investigative process and to impose appropriate discipline where necessary, both now and once the department is no longer subject to judicial oversight. Along these lines, CPRA and the Commission have cooperated with the city to build the internal capacity necessary for the transfer of additional IAB obligations. Full CPRA staffing requires no fewer than 17 permanent employees, of which at least 7 must be investigators. In the second quarter of 2025, CPRA staff consisted of just 7 permanent employees and 3 contract employees, with only 3 investigators. This shortfall remained even after Interim Director Lawson agreed to cut the position from which he'd been elevated to Interim Director in order to forestall further cuts to investigative staff. The new mayoral administration has, however, more than doubled CPRA's budget, allowing the agency to begin recruiting and hiring new staff, which include project manager to assume IB transition tasks. Only a fully staffed CPRA can provide accountability and independent, unbiased investigations of alleged police misconduct. Section,
Omar, can
yeah,
you pause right there?
yep,
So that was the new part that I hadn't heard since that was added since the last time we all met. So definitely Director Lawson, take another look at that these next couple of days. And then I'm sure if there's any like minor edits or amendments, commissioners are going to give us the authority to make any final edits on this once we get all everybody's feedback. But I just want to make sure you're okay with that section as well.
I will definitely look at it, and I'm familiar with most of that. Most of that came out of some information I was previously presented to the administration.
Gotcha. Okay, so that's pretty public. That's all. Okay, sounds good.
okay.
Thank
I'll
you.
All right, thank you. I'll continue. Okay. Section 4, external pressures on commission stability. In the realm of Oakland administrative bodies, the Police Commission is a fairly new commission. In its 8 years of operation, the all-volunteer commission has struggled with setting up new systems, ever-decreasing support staff, and repeated slashes to its budget. In the past, dissension among commissioners hindered the efforts of the oversight body and its CPRA and OIG arms. Recent commission chairs and commissioners, however, have made sizable strides in developing commission cohesion. Under current OPC leadership, commissioners have solidified these positive working relationships within the organization, including with CPR and OIG, and extending outward to the chief of police in the department, resulting in the most productive and effective commission to date. Although the Commission has worked relentlessly in the face of numerous attacks and labored under city budget reductions, the continuity of its current success is again under threat. An oft-repeated narrative blames independent oversight of the OPD disciplinary process for crime levels within Oakland. Uncontradicted by some city officials, these falsehoods jeopardize the Commission's present and future ability to function effectively. Most recently, after much review, the OPC Selection Committee unanimously approved current Chair Ricardo Garcia Costa and alternate Commissioner Omar Farmer for reappointment to their present Commission positions. Nonetheless, under the guise of concern about candidate recruitment and qualifications, the City Council rejected their appointments. The selection panel was asked to renew the months-long process of recruiting and interviewing new candidates, with council members committing to perform outreach and with one council member stating that they are coordinating with officers to identify OPD-friendly commissioners. These assaults on commission membership coincided with other overt attempts to disrupt commission business. Unbeknownst to the commission, verified and credible threats had been made to the safety of the commission, resulting in an increased law enforcement presence at commission meetings. Once already, these safety concerns have left the Commission without a quorum to conduct Commission business. Unfortunately, the failure to approve reappointment of two members of the most effective Commission yet has gone far in validating the anti-Commission climate. Without support from all city officials that demonstrates a commitment to independent civilian oversight that can quell anti-commission harassment, the city could face a challenge in recruiting and maintaining volunteer commissioners. Per the city charter, the commission plays a critical role in hiring a new Oakland chief of police. In light of Chief Mitchell's departure, the commission has begun the process necessary to recruit a qualified applicant pool for interviewing and presentation of select candidates to Mayor Barbara Lee. Efforts to upset commission functioning are attacks not only on the task of identifying a successor chief of police, but on the greater goal of implementing effective and enduring independent oversight. Now more than ever, the commission's stability is fundamental to that project. The city's failure to vociferously defend its designated independent police oversight governing body will undermine the continued success of the current commission and risk decreased compliance with the NSA or a short-lived exit from the agreement. Section 5, Conclusion. The Commission's primary goal is to transform OPD culture by promoting accountability and fairness through appropriate department policies and equitable disciplinary actions. Through its ad hoc committee efforts and its independent OIG and CPRA branches, the Commission has made significant headway in working with the department and revising OPD policies to make constitutional policing an efficient and manageable practice. The department should not be distrustful of civilian investigative oversight in any discipline that results from officer misbehavior. Yet, within OPD and parts of city government, the fallacy persists that officer accountability for misconduct is punitive and anti-law enforcement, rather than a welcome expression of transparency and the desire for betterment. Despite financial challenges, lack of support, and recent intimidation, the Commission remains intent on the mission set before it by the Oakland community to serve as the standard bearer for advancing constitutional policies and practices within Oakland law enforcement. The Commission looks forward to meeting the challenge of locating a chief of police committed to continued partnership with the Commission to further improve department culture to accomplish that goal. Respectfully submitted. All right, gentlemen. Any feedback on that whatsoever? I don't. It looks good to me so far. I'm not sure how much additional feedback we're going to have from commissioners at the meeting, but we'll see, and we'll definitely have time to add anything that we as an ad hoc decide to add. But any thoughts or questions? Chair, are you going to say something?
No. Yeah, I mean, I feel pretty good about it. I think there's just a couple things that were different from the last time we reviewed it. So feel pretty good about it and really interested to hear public feedback about it tomorrow. And also, I also look forward to hear what the commissioners think about it as well.
Yeah, I feel pretty good about it as well. Director Lawson, any thoughts?
Oh, I actually thought it was well written. I don't have any, I need to want to read through it carefully, especially the references to CPRA. I see, and then if I have any comments, I'll get back to you. But mostly what I heard was taken from information we had provided previously to the administration and then to um, council. So I think she just simply took a lot of that information. I think it's going to be fine. But I think it was a strong statement.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah, I can't think of anything additional to add right now, but I'm sure we'll think of something between now and before we submit it to the city attorney's office and share it with everyone. It looks like someone put something in the chat. Oh, thank you from Kathy Leonard that she stands behind us. We appreciate the feedback. Thank you very much, Kathy Leonard from CPA. Thank you. And I don't see anyone else from, let me double check whether or not someone from the public is here, because I'm not totally used to, so it's 4 participants. Just double check, okay. So Kathy is the only one here from the public. Kathy, did you have anything that you would like to say? If not, no worries. Feel free to raise your hand if you would like to make a statement. We read what you submitted, and we appreciate that. Um, but I feel pretty good with where we're at. Let's go over the timeline again really quickly and double check on some stuff. Okay. All right. So here we are again, November 10th. And it looks like we're going to have, let's see, 1, 2, 3 meetings before we said we're going to submit it to the city attorney's office on December 2nd here. And then after that, we'll have, yeah, and then that's going to be it. So we're really going to have Thursday, and then actually, wait one more. No, we're going to submit the final CMC statement to the city attorney's office November 24th. So we have 2 weeks, 2 weeks from today. So we have Thursday and next Monday to go over some stuff before we submit it, and then the week leading up to the following Monday in case we want to add something, or if chair or someone else receives some input that they think is substantive and we want to add it, then this is the time that we have to do that, basically about 2 weeks. And then we give ourselves another 2 weeks to go over. And while we're, in kind of like these final stages of the CMC, we can start to go over some talking points for the event itself, if that's helpful to you, Chair. Or we can just dedicate the last 2 week, or like this. Yeah, I guess it's like 2 weeks from the 24th to, and I get, we talked about meeting again on the 8th, which is the day before the event. But yeah, about 2 weeks, a little over 2 weeks, just to prepare, to assist, if that's helpful, about CMC talking points, things like that.
Yeah, no doubt. I do also want to flag this Wednesday, I have a meeting with the NSA core group. So hopefully they would have had a chance to read this by now. I'll also double back and reach out to OCA just to make sure that they've seen this. And then I'll be happy to answer any questions, get feedback from them as well. And if there's any constructive criticism or any thoughts that they may have. And then, the goal would be hopefully to have them reference some of this stuff in their brief. And I want to ask if it'd be helpful if they even had just high level talking points, so summary talking points that they may want to include, and then we submit our full CMC statement on the back end. Clearly, we're being a little critical by calling out the facts of what we're dealing with right now. And we think it's really important that the judge understands the situation that we are in right now in regards to trying to keep consistency and continuity on the commission as we move forward, given external factors that we, haven't asked for or have no control over. And so I do think that the ad hoc produced a letter that everybody, was behind on last week. Good to have Director Lawson's chiming in on it this week. I want to be clear. This is not Omar and Ricardo's letter to the court. This is the NSA Ad Hoc's letter. And I appreciate Chair Farmer's leadership on pulling together this group and this discussion, and the collective group's input on putting together the content for this letter. I also want to be clear that in no way are we trying to badmouth or have any type of vendetta towards the city. We just want the judge to know the sequence of events and what we're facing. All facts, nothing salacious, nothing speculative, no conspiracy theories. We are concerned. We we didn't go as far on this letter as mentioning OPAOA's perceived influence over this process and causing this situation that we are facing currently. Um, and I also want to be clear that in no way are we promoting or are we spreading any salacious speculation about individuals. It is a known fact. It is public record. City Council member Houston went on his social media page and gloated about having conversations with the union president, Win, and talked about replacing commissioners. Um, that is not speculative. That's not salacious. That's not us accusing anything. Um, that those are facts. And even then, we made sure that we did not personalize any attacks and name city council specifically in regards to those actions. We wanted to stay neutral and just stick to the current situation that we're facing. But I wanted to be clear around that because although we will be accused of being salacious and having a vendetta and undermining the credibility of the commission because of this CMC statement, I really feel like the content in this statement, I think, is very accurate in terms of the facts. And I also wanted to say that I'm really proud of the work that not only the commission, but CPRA, OIG, and everybody at this ad hoc has been doing to be able to put together this document, to be able to show the court the progress and the nuances of this work that we take a lot of pride in moving forward on a weekly, daily basis for the city of Oakland. So regardless of certain comments, I do feel pretty comfortable with this. And I do want to be open on Thursday to hear the public's feedback, both good and bad, so that we could sit with it and be able to work in some of that input into the final product for as the commission, will vote and give us authority to be able to do so. So anyhow, sorry, I will get off my soapbox, but I really think this is a good document. I think it does hit the mark on many of the cases, many of the fronts and points that we wanted to make, and the fact that we're dealing with a little bit of instability and continuity is being threatened with the commission is not a conspiracy theory. It's not salacious. It's just the reality of what we're facing right now. So thank you, everyone that put in work on this. And looking forward to Thursday's public discussion around this. And I'm also hoping that if the city attorney, I'll reach out to them to get any feedback ahead of time. I will also reach back out to city council as well. We have reached out to council president to get feedback on this document and to get his feedback directly on next steps for the commission, which we have not heard back from. So hopefully we'll hear back from him before our meeting. And if not on Thursday, is another opportunity for folks to come to our meeting, give public comment, and share with the community if there's any concerns about the product that we've produced.
Yeah, no, thank you, Chair. Thank you for everything that you said. And I agree with you 110%. And just like you pointed out, I think it's important for us to be transparent with the public. We're appointed here on behalf of the public, and I think it's good to be straight up with them about what's going on in a professional manner. And I feel like that's what we've done with this statement, and that's what they wanted us to do. To be honest with you, we didn't even initiate the discussions around some of the topics in here regarding the whole process that was requested of us by the public. So I think it's very important to be upfront and transparent with them. And, that's one of the things that makes, I feel that makes OPD potentially better. Everyone involved in this potentially better because transparency helps aid accountability and just honesty in dealings with each other. So Yeah, I don't think this is the final product. I think it can be, we'll probably refine it a little bit, make it a little bit better, get some more input, like you pointed out, and take it from there. But I got another chat from potentially from someone from the public. Oh, yes. And Kathy Leonard just pointed out again that yes, the court should be made aware. And I agree with her there as well, because I felt like last time we really committed to, discussing some other things. And as we discussed earlier on in this current CMC process, that maybe we could, or at least I personally felt like maybe I could have done a better job of uh, talking more about some things that the court should be aware of. And so we're making sure that we don't miss that this time around. So thank you for that input again. Chair or Director Lawson, any final thoughts?
I have no
No?
final thoughts. I think it's a good statement.
Okay. Thank you very much. And then, Chair, so you said you're going to share it with the city attorney's office. I think you're going to do it after Thursday, obviously, right?
No, I have a meeting with them on Wednesday, our core meeting. So ahead of that meeting, I want to make sure that they saw it and if they have any feedback or if they want to give me any input. And then I'll be able to bring that, or especially if there's any specific input they want the commission to know of, that I
Yeah.
can bring to Thursday's meeting as well, as we review that for the public.
Okay, and then just bring it to the meeting. Got it. Okay. All right, excellent. Well, thank you very much. Thanks for the reminder about the NSA core group meeting. I forgot that was happening this week. I don't think it was on the timeline, so that's good to know. And glad we're making use of that. All right, if there's nothing else from the public or any of the members of the ad hoc committee, have a good night. And if we don't see you on Thursday, we'll see you next Monday.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you. Good night, all.
Good night.